Today we're starting off with some fight news that has everyone talking. Islam Makhachev says he's actually open to fighting Ilia Topuria at the White House. In an interview yesterday, Islam said, "I like this idea if UFC won. I know a lot of MMA fans want this fight. Also, this is one of the arena that maybe I'm going to fight next." He continued, "We have the Ramadan months where I'm not going to be training. After that, I will slowly begin my training camp. I will be ready. White House or other dates, I will be ready." So Islam's giving us a timeline here. Ramadan runs through late March into April, so we're looking at a summer fight at the earliest. But the fact that he's acknowledging the White House venue specifically is huge. That's the UFC's rumored big event they're trying to put together. This would be an absolutely massive fight. Islam's the lightweight champion, Ilia's the featherweight champion. Cross-divisional super fight between two of the most dominant champions in the UFC right now. Ilia's been calling out everyone above his weight class, and Islam's never backed down from anyone. The question is whether Ilia moves up, or if they meet at a catchweight. Either way, this is the kind of fight that breaks pay-per-view records. Both guys are on incredible win streaks, both have knockout power, and both have elite grappling. If the UFC can make this happen at the White House, it'd be one of the biggest events in company history.
A lot of talk about the potential fight between you and Ilia Topuria. How do you look at that situation?
I like this idea. If UFC want, I know a lot of MMA fans want this fight, I'm ready. And I will be ready, White House, or I will be ready.
Charles Oliveira is fired up ahead of his rematch against Max Holloway at UFC 326. For those who don't remember, these two fought back in 2015, and Max won by TKO in the first round due to an injury Charles suffered during the fight. On his YouTube channel, Oliveira said, "From that last fight to this one, I evolved a lot. In that fight, I entered with an injury. It's a completely different Charles. I know he's evolved, he's grown, he's the BMF champion, but today's Charles is a completely different Charles." He went on, "At the time, I was just Charles of Jiu-Jitsu. Today, I'm Charles of MMA. I'm a complete guy. At that time, I was just a boy. Today, I am a lion among lions. So it's completely different one fight from the other." And honestly, he's not wrong. The Charles Oliveira from 2015 and the Charles Oliveira of today are two completely different fighters. Back then, he was known primarily as a submission specialist who would fold under pressure. Now he's a former lightweight champion with 11 post-fight bonuses, multiple title defenses, and some of the most exciting fights in UFC history. Max has obviously evolved too. He's the BMF champion, he's riding momentum, and he's looked incredible at lightweight. But this isn't the same guy who beat up an injured Charles 9 years ago. This is Du Bronx in his prime, with nothing to lose and everything to prove. This rematch is going to be fireworks.
What is left for Charles Oliveira to achieve?
Hey Hunter, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway, BMF. Vamos fazer acontecer essa.
Take my money. Congratulations.
Daniel Cormier opened up about how frustrating it is to always have his name tied to Jon Jones. In a recent interview, he was asked, "Is it frustrating to have your name always be tied to his?" DC responded, "Yeah, a little bit. It's a little frustrating because we have our own careers and I had a career that was so great with him and outside of him. Doesn't need to always be just running side by side, but it is what it is, right? That's my journey. Just like it'll always be tied to Cael Sanderson in wrestling and Karelin in the Olympics. That's my life." And you can hear the resignation in his voice. DC's a two-division UFC champion, Olympic wrestler, commentator, analyst, and one of the most respected figures in MMA history. But every conversation about him eventually circles back to Jon Jones. The reality is, their rivalry defined both of their careers in a lot of ways. Two fights, both Jones victories, both controversial in different ways. DC's legacy would be completely different if he'd won either of those fights, and he knows it. But he's right to be frustrated. DC accomplished things Jon never did, won a Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, competed in the Olympics, became a beloved commentator. He's got a Hall of Fame career independent of Jon Jones. The fact that every interview still comes back to their rivalry has to wear on him after all these years.
He was strong.
He was always
When we
strong.
fought, he was strong. Like, he was strong. Leverage. Great with his leverage. Dude, the way he was able to manipulate positions, because I thought, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would take him down at will. But it's hard. Even if you get a takedown, it's hard against the best guys. I picked Stipe up, I threw him down. Held him down for the whole first round. And then he got up because we got to start again. So now I got to start that process all over again. So when you're fighting guys like Jones, he's so tall, he's so rangy, and he just understood fighting. The guy just understands.
Demetrious Johnson did some training with Arman Sterling this week, and Mighty Mouse came away thinking Arman has the best chance of beating Ilia Topuria in the lightweight division. DJ said, "When you look at Arman Sterling, after training with him, if he fights Ilia, I think he has the athletic ability, the skill set, the mixed martial artist, and the mindset to be able to beat Ilia. The interviewer then asked, does he deserve a title shot over Justin Gaethje? Demetrious responded, to be honest with you, Arman Tsarukyan should have fought either Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett for the interim champion, but they didn't choose him. They chose Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Justin Gaethje beat Paddy Pimblett, so by law, according to the wrestling gangster, the interim champion should be fighting Ilia next, and that's a fight that needs to happen. And then after that, Arman Tsarukyan should be fighting the winner of Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. So DJ's saying Arman got passed over for the interim title fight, but now that Justin won, Justin deserves the next shot. Then Arman should fight the winner. It's a fair take. You can't jump the guy who just won the interim belt. But what's interesting is DJ's assessment after training with Arman. Mighty Mouse is one of the greatest fighters of all time and has an incredible fight IQ. If he's saying Arman has the tools to beat Ilia after working with him firsthand, that carries a lot of weight. Arman's wrestling and pressure could be a real problem for Ilia. He's relentless, he's got cardio for days, and he doesn't give you any space to breathe. If anyone's going to give Ilia problems in the lightweight division, it's probably Arman, but he's going to have to wait his turn.
Your angling and your footwork is so good that you almost don't give your stand-up the appreciation it deserves. And I go boom, boom, look at it, boom. Here's another question. Who cannot wrestle you in the UFC? Who cannot wrestle you?
Right now, I'm 55 and over.
Exactly.
It was Islam, but he went out.
Yeah, he went out. Arman's striking is really good. I think his striking doesn't get the flowers it deserves because it's so overshadowed from his wrestling, meaning that
Dustin Poirier is back in the gym. He posted footage of himself training at American Top Team, and everyone's wondering what this means. For those who missed it, Dustin announced his retirement after his last fight, but he recently said he'd come back for a trilogy with Justin Gaethje. These two have fought twice. Dustin won the first fight, Justin won the second. A trilogy makes all the sense in the world. The footage shows Dustin looking sharp, moving well, clearly in fight shape or getting back there. Whether this is just to stay active or he's actually planning a comeback, we'll have to wait and see. But when a recently retired fighter starts posting training footage, it usually means something's in the works. If it's the Gaethje trilogy, that's a massive fight. Both guys are legends, both have given us some of the best fights in UFC history, and both still have plenty left in the tank. Don't be surprised if we hear an announcement soon.
But I just hate, and I'm gonna just say this right now, y'all boxers are so disrespectful to us athletes, bro, in the UFC. And I understand we don't get paid like y'all, we don't get money like y'all, but I tell you right now, we outwork every single boxer in the room. Hands down, that's just the truth. That is just the truth. Are y'all skilled at what y'all do? Exactly.
Now for some roster news that caught everyone off guard, the UFC has released Jailton Almeida, despite an 8-3 record with 7 finishes in the promotion. Almeida just lost to Rizvan Kunaev by unanimous decision at UFC Vegas 103. He took that fight on short notice as a replacement for Ryan Spann. After the loss, he told the UFC he wanted to move down to light heavyweight, which makes sense given his frame and the weight cut issues he's had. But instead of letting him make the move, the UFC released him. He was ranked 6th in the heavyweight division before this cut. This is one of those releases that doesn't make a ton of sense on paper. 8 wins, 3 losses, 7 finishes. That's a solid record. He's not some journeyman hanging on at the bottom of the roster. He's a top 10 heavyweight who just wanted to move down a weight class. The UFC's been cutting a lot of fighters lately, trying to trim the roster down, but releasing guys with winning records and finish rates over 70% seems short-sighted. Almeida's young, skilled, and dangerous. Some other promotion is going to sign him immediately, and if he goes on a run at light heavyweight, the UFC is going to look silly for letting him go. Quick update. Khamzat Chimaev is currently doing some training at Jackson Wink MMA alongside Khalil Roundtree. Footage came out showing the two working together, and Khamzat looks in phenomenal shape. This is interesting because Jackson Wink is known for their high-level striking coaching. Khamzat's already got elite wrestling and grappling. If he's sharpening up his striking at one of the best gyms in the world for it, that's a scary proposition for the rest of the middleweight division. We're still waiting to hear who Khamzat's fighting next. There's been talk of Robert Whittaker, talk of a title eliminator, but nothing official yet. Wherever he ends up fighting, it's clear he's not taking time off. The guy's always in the gym, always improving. And finally, the news that broke the internet last night, Nate Diaz is coming back to the UFC. He posted on X, "Let's not act like I didn't start a whole division, bringing value to all these guys claiming they're it. I gave opportunity and put notice on the dopest fights. I got unfinished business and I plan on going and taking what's mine. First to ever start a division and the dopest one at that. You're welcome. I'll see you soon. I'm coming." Classic Nate, taking credit for building the welterweight and lightweight divisions. And honestly, there's some truth to it. Nate's been a needle mover for over a decade. Love him or hate him, the guy sells fights and creates moments. The unfinished business line is what's got everyone speculating. Is it Conor McGregor trilogy, Leon Edwards rematch, Jorge Masvidal in the UFC, a title run at 39 years old? Whatever it is, Nate coming back instantly makes the welterweight division more interesting. Every fight he takes is going to be a main event. Every call-out is going to generate headlines, and every press conference is going to be must-watch TV. Welcome back, Nate. The UFC just got a whole lot more unpredictable. If you want daily MMA news and updates, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. I'll see you in the next one.